Welcome back, everyone. Oh, it's an absolute pleasure.
We're back.
So we've been away, not recording for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've been busy.
So I'm sure your dating life has gone to absolute shit. But it's good to be back here for the unqualified advice you never ask for on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Episode 41, and we're back with a very special guest. Third time on the podcast is the Boy Detox. Thank you very much for showing up today.
Hello. How you doing?
I had to pay a massive premium to get her on. So,
facts.
The price keeps going up.
$300,
it's kind of annoying.
mate. $300, fucking expensive.
Yeah, too much. As always, we're your host. To my left, camera right is
Dan.
I'm Dwayne, and in the middle again is the Boy Detox. As usual, please subscribe to all our channels: Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I think that's all of them.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, what are we talking about today?
Well, first of all, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, and it's really great. What's been going on with you lately? I know you went to Esther Perel the other day.
Yesterday.
Last
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about it, like in a snippeted version, the like elevator pitch, and what would be like one or two highlights you pulled away from it?
Esther Perel is magnificent. She's a wonderful writer, classic academic, and she basically spoke about relationships, infidelity, marriage, monogamy, and it was just incredible to see her speak and to hear the way that her brain works, especially when she was doing the Q&A.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know, you've read her book as well, Mating in Captivity, have you?
And the second one, State of Affairs.
Yeah, I still need to read that one. But Mating in Captivity is unreal.
I've read about.
I've never read that, but what would be, because I haven't come across, I've heard of her, but haven't seen or watched much of her content. What would be like two things that you learn or relearn, or two highlights from? What would be two things you pulled away?
So the most interesting thing that I got out of Mating in Captivity is that as humans, we look for security in intimacy or security in relationships, and that's what we crave. Like, we crave knowing where our partner is and having routine and being habitual with our relationships. But on the other hand, what we need to create fire and desire and a sense of life within our lives is eroticism. And the two don't really live together harmoniously, because security is like a state of, sort of a straight line and things being normal, but eroticism tips things over. So we need eroticism, yet we want security.
Well, that's the whole thing of like chemistry versus compatibility. But you do need both, because generally when you go on a date with someone, there's always initial chemistry, and then what's long lasting is compatibility.
Exactly.
You can still have chemistry throughout, but it's usually at the end of the day, if someone doesn't go on date 2 with you, it's because there was no chemistry.
Yeah.
Correct.
You need chemistry to want to like fuck someone or go on a date with them or want to be with them.
Yeah.
Compatibility is what keeps it long standing.
Yeah, and eroticism creates this kind of fire, I guess. And one of the things she says about infidelity is that when someone cheats, it's often not because they want to leave the relationship, but they want to leave themselves. They want to leave a part of themselves.
It's like an escape.
So do you think it's like a self-sabotage kind of thing?
Well, yes, it is, but it's just they want to change something about themselves. Therefore, they're seeking fire outside of the relationship. For some reason, the relationship isn't giving them what they need, but it is all about the self. It's very selfish.
Was there anything else you picked up from Esther Perel that you were like, if someone was listening, like a really good takeaway or something that someone could learn from it? Would there be anything else that really stood out to you? Yeah,
one of the things that she said was, when we leave childhood, we either have a proclivity to want, crave stability or security, or we want adventure and fire and something unique and different. And that depends on our childhood. So you usually want the opposite, or you could want the same. But yeah, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like I messaged you today when I was responding to your story, saying how Esther Perel talks a lot about the balance between togetherness and separateness, and like trying to figure out, okay, everyone, when you're in a relationship, you want to be together, but also there needs to come a point where there is a separateness. But what happens in relationships is that one part of the relationship is going to want togetherness more than the other, and the other one is going to want separateness more. So it's like trying to find that balance between, okay, yes, we are together, but also we need to like be separate in order to build and work on this dog, build and work on ourselves so that we can actually bring the best part of ourselves to the relationship, which I find a lot of people don't do. Like we always talk about how when people have been in a relationship for quite a long time, a lot of times they end up molding themselves around each other and they completely lose who they are. So when they actually do break up, they feel completely lost and they're like their life falls apart. Which for me personally, I would never want to. I would as much as I want to like fall in love, I will never end up in a place where my whole life ends up completely revolved around the person. Where if something did happen where we sadly broke up, that I would feel like empty.
You'd say that, right? You'd say that, but it's hard.
Oh yeah, obviously.
No, the thing is, people don't change like overnight.
Yeah.
And what happens is, because it happened to me, is like it's just 1%, 1% here, 1% there, and I would have been someone like, fuck, I'm not changing for anyone, and it's like you don't realize, but it's like 1% here and there. At the end of the year, you're like, fuck, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah,
it's a scary like change that you didn't see it happening. But
when you
do come out of it,
if you're aware of the fact that you don't want that to happen, I think that's when you can like check yourself, check back in, and that's why it's so important for couples to always do that, like check in with each other.
Are we happy?
Whether it's every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every week, every month, it's like, okay, what could I do better over the last month, or what could I do to make you feel more loved? What did I do this month that pissed you off?
That's
like,
a good conversation to have, like in a partnership.
Yeah,
like
100%.
At the end of the week, like let's catch up. How did you feel not heard, or what could I have done better, or what things do we want to work on? 100%.
Yeah, I've read that in the Love Languages book.
Yeah,
check.
She also, I mean, on that note, she also actually said one person in a relationship is always more afraid of abandonment, and the other one is more afraid of suffocation and scared of losing themselves.
Yeah.
So that's
every
pretty
time.
much summarizes it.
Yeah. She's a great woman.
Yeah,
she speaks like 5 languages or something ridiculous.
9.
9, there you go.
9 languages.
9 languages.
Insane.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do you retain that information?
Different human, mate.
Jesus Christ. Well, thank you for coming on. I think one of the reasons why we always love chatting to you is like you're like one of the boys. You talk about shit. You say it how it is. Like on the tin, it is what fucking whatever the saying is. But you say it how I just lost
on
it.
the tin, it's whatever the fuck it
it is. What it says. What's the saying?
It is what it says in the tin.
It is what it says in the tin. And so, like, what is the topic that you're bringing to the table today? Because it's a fucking juicy one.
It's grimy. We're gonna get grimy today.
Have we got the banana? Have we got a banana?
We didn't bring a banana in or a peach.
We're going to talk about...
Just see what's around we can use.
Those bottles. We're going to talk about giving head.
Use the can.
Yeah, the old giving head.
Yeah. Welcome,
Blozzers.
People. Welcome.
Muff diving.
Yeah.
In and out. What's
in and out, shake it all about.
Other ones?
Do the hokey pokey.
Yeah. Hopping on the bad foot, doing the good thing.
I mean, there's plenty of euphemism, isn't there?
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about today. We're talking about giving head, both men giving head and women giving head, because...
Wait, sorry, we're talking about us giving... I thought it was just for men.
No. You would.
Unbelievable.
Disgraceful. And the reason why we're talking about it, because the Boy Detox wrote 2 articles a while ago about this, 2 separate ones. One was a guide for men giving great head, and also a guide for women giving great head. And the Boy Detox lives a very interesting life. So every time every time she goes on her escapades, content usually comes from it, which we always appreciate.
Facts.
So these 2 articles actually came from a rendezvous, and she thought, you know what, this experience has sparked an idea.
It was so inspiring.
And this is where the articles arose from.
Yeah, can we get context into that as well? Like,
are you willing to share the details?
Of course.
Go on. Well, I've heard it already, so please enlighten the crowd.
Okay, so I went on a date in Bali. So I was in Bali. I ran it up in Bali on a date, and I spent the weekend with this guy. And for a bit of context, at dinner he said to me, I mean, there's more of a backstory. We'll talk about that later. But he said to me, I get hard from going down on women. And I was like, a check, please? No.
Dan does as well, apparently.
That did happen, though, didn't it? Let's get the fuck out of here.
No, I didn't. We hung out for a bit longer, but I was like,
10
ding,
minutes.
ding, ding. And then for more context, this guy, he's in the fitness industry and he was a football player growing up. And
Obviously.
from my experience with athletes, they tend
Selfish.
to be fairly selfish lovers. So fast forward, 8 hours or
10
whatever.
minutes.
8 hours. And we did the thing. And I woke up in the morning.
The thing.
They
thing.
had
Did all the
sex.
things.
They
I
had
need to be
sex.
more explicit on this podcast.
Yeah,
don't I?
just like it's E-rated. We
Yeah,
put it in
yeah,
Apple
yeah,
and
yeah.
Spotify that there's bad words in
There's
We
there.
did
bad
the thing.
words. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we did the thing. And in the morning, I said to him, "So if you're an athlete, how did this come about? Like, why do you love giving head to women so much? And where did you learn it? Because I'm gonna just put it out there. It was probably one of the top 5 sexual experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Which is big coming from me. let me
Yeah.
say. And he said, I've just always loved it, but when I was about 15, I read this article in FHM, and it was pretty much a guide to how to give women good head. And I read it, and I put that into practice over however many years. And then I was like, cool, I'm going to go home, have a shower. I'm going to come back, and I want you to tell me what happened in the article, but you can show me at the same time.
I love it.
So we did that.
I was
My
like,
God.
Yeah, so it ended up being like a show and tell. So he did what he was doing, but told me at the same time. And it's the first time that I've had a cognitive link to what was going on and why it felt good. And then, of course, we reversed roles, and I did the same thing to him. And at the end of it, also, for me, I can give blowjobs, but I never know why it's good
Yeah.
or why it's not good. But I
Yeah.
knew from what I was doing what felt good for him and, why it worked. And afterwards he said, you should write an article about this. And I said, I don't know. I obviously write about sex and dating all the time, but I'm not that explicit. And he was like, give it a go. I reckon you can. And
Fast forward
2 days or something, and the articles were
we're
born.
born.
Nice. I like it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Love the
fun.
fact you're like, I'm just gonna go home and shower and come back,
Yeah.
and then we can do show and tell.
We're gonna get a notepad out and just be fucking saying.
But it was so interesting because you don't usually communicate in
Yeah.
that kind of detailed or prescriptive way.
I think
I wonder why.
probably like an ego thing. People just think they're the bee's knees, and they just feel like they don't need to or they don't want to. Comes down to that whole everyone thinks they're an expert.
And
Yeah,
it's-
people are probably afraid of being told they're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
as
being
well
told
while
you're
they're
shit.
in that. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
and it can be difficult if you're a little bit reserved too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think that's awesome though, because the chemistry would just be so much better if you can just have a really open talk of do this or do that, or say that was pretty shit, but we can get better. I think
There
that's,
was none of that was pretty shit.
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Let's
That
maybe not
is-
use the word shit with the person in the bed. Yeah, that was shit.
If
Like,
I zone
get
out
better.
during this episode, it's just me having flashbacks, just
Like-
sliding off the chair.
Jess, you okay? Jess, talk.
What is
We've
that
just
on the
asked you a
floor?
question.
What-
Yeah.
We've just asked you
Sorry.
a question.
It was fantastic. I mean, he turned out to be a dickhead, but
The dickheads usually give the best head though.
yeah, I don't actually think he's a dickhead, but anyway, that's a whole other thing we'll talk about later. But it was an amazing experience. I
Awesome.
wrote 2 of the best articles I've written out of it. He read them too, and
Was he a fan?
he was like, "Fucking hell, you can actually write."
You can't write, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, since we are going into that, which one shall we go to first? Should we talk about women giving head, or should we talk about men giving head first?
Let's talk about whichever one you want to talk about, Jess.
Let's talk about men giving head first.
Okay.
Men giving head first. Okay.
Fuck, I'm a bit clammy, hey.
Why are you clammy?
My mum's going to listen to this. Sorry, mum. This is...
Sorry.
I don't... Mum, just turn off. Just heads up.
Also,
just
Mum,
please.
if you're listening, please feel free to go to another episode. There's
just
another
stop.
40 before this one.
Yeah, just stop listening at this point.
Fill your boots. Right, so we're talking about women giving head.
Men giving
Men
Oh,
head.
men giving head. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I didn't even know how to even start this.
I'm
Like,
so like...
Well, is there anything specific that you guys do? Is there a go-to that you
I would say...
have?
When I growing up when I was younger, I always found that I was a lot more into going down on women, and that got me off a lot more. Really hope my mum's not listening, but yeah, I always found I got me off a lot more going down on women. So I was a lot more into it. So it's I think that I'm a pretty good at that. And I think I've put in the hours over the years. And I think a big thing is like being receptive to like little movements,
little hints,
like hints and moans and stuff like this. And also you learn to not treat it like a PS5 controller.
Yeah.
And just,
or chore as well.
And just
like,
a chore and just not like smashing away at it, you know,
Mm.
like understanding like a bit of the rhythm. That would be my first point. Yeah.
Well, that's sorry, you go ahead.
Not go on.
I was just going to say that's one of the points that I make in the article is women can tell if you're not into
For
it.
sure.
They
Mm.
can tell if you're doing it just as
Just
like an
for the sake
obligation
of
on
it,
the
yeah.
way to
Yeah.
penetrative sex. So the more you really enjoy it, the more they're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Big fan.
Ironically for me, I would say I was like quite a late bloomer when it came to going down on girls.
Yeah.
Mainly from like a cultural aspect, because I don't know if people know this, but in Jamaica, it's like a thing where men just don't go down on their women. It's very...
It's like weaker or something, or it's just
no,
like
it's like... It's just a weird little male ego thing. The
Yeah.
girl bleeds out of it. I'm not going to go down on
yeah,
it.
fair.
So there's just like... There's songs about it where the guys would rap and pop to say like, I would never go down on my gal's pussy, all that kind of stuff.
Really?
Right.
So coming from that and growing up through like I went to high school for a year in Jamaica, like my first year of high school. So obviously when you're around older kids, like you end up hearing these kind of conversations about, yeah, men don't go down on girls, la da da da. Obviously women go down on men. So like coming from that, then moving across the world, I used to think like that's just not a normal thing, that men don't go down on women. And then obviously as I've gotten older, I'd be like, okay, like let's do this, because obviously the women actually enjoy it. And initially when I was growing up, it was like a chore for me, because I was just like, oh, she obviously enjoys it, so I'm just going to do it because she enjoys it. And then obviously when you're younger as well, you don't really, as men, a lot of the time it's quite selfish loving. When you're younger, you're like, you just want to get your end away and just get it over and done
How long
with.
until this is done so I can put my dick in?
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of the process. And like, as I've gotten older, I've started to be way less more selfish when it comes to like loving. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down and like literally I'll be down for a while. And then as you say in the article, it's all about like being receptive, as you just said, receptive to what they're doing. Are they making any noises? Are they moving? Are they like grabbing their body? Or are they like grabbing you?
Yeah.
And if I'm going down on the girl and she's like not moving,
I
actually just come up and be like, yo, you alright?
Are you alive?
It's like, and then that's when
fuck, it's happened again.
So normally what I would do is like, I would just venture and just do whatever.
In the hope that something
inside,
will,
and
like,
then just I would like go to different parts and see what kind of like makes them move, and then if they aren't moving, then I will like come up and be like, what do you like or what do you want? And then that's when
there's a lot. Like we're not taught any of this. It's so much
and
more
vaginas
complex.
are difficult.
it's like being a pilot and going into every flight you go on, the buttons are just
100%.
different places. I'm like, how the hell do I fly this plane?
It's like trying to navigate somewhere without a GPS. You're like, I've got no fucking... It's like having the old A to Z maps. You're like, and it changes every time.
How the
Everyone's
fuck
got
do
a
I
new
get
location.
to Wollongong without a fucking map? You know what I mean?
It'd be outrageous. You get there and it's like old phone booths. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Put the coin in. And
I'm like, what is this place? This is outrageous.
There's no dial tone.
I think giving head in general is an acquired taste for men and for women.
Like, not everyone's gonna like it.
No.
But again, it's like...
But you can grow to it. It's like oysters.
Yeah, you just grow to
Big
like...
fan of oysters.
Yeah, you go to like it, and I think you grow to like it if it's with the right person as well.
Yeah.
And also if it... oh, it doesn't matter.
Nah, go on.
Also, if it like tastes good, then
I thought that's so easy.
if it has a good taste, then you'll happily stay down there forever.
If there's maintenance going on, like if there's maintenance, if it's being well looked after, if the internal design is all, if they've been looking after it, well then you're like,
I do have to say on that note, ladies, it is a lot to do with your pH balance, which means treating your body well in terms of what you're drinking and eating.
Or what you put inside it.
Yeah.
So, like, what could be negatively, just like a side note, what could be negative, like drinking?
Anything really yeasty.
Like
beer,
what?
Anything
beer,
foreign.
Lots of sugar.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Ejaculation in it knocks the pH off.
Whoa. Shh, can we not say that publicly?
It does.
No.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does. It
doesn't. Don't lie to the people.
It does. It does.
Just let your man do what he needs to do.
But yeah, that's like my initial thoughts on going down on women, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think I always found it quite weird growing up because I was always like more that way, and other lads would be the same. Like, oh, what you mean? I just want to get a blowjob, and I just never found like much of an interest in it. Maybe because at that point everyone's fucking pretty shit. But yeah,
I also think it's important to like have the build up before you even go down there.
For sure, preheat the oven.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
is the first.
That's
point
the first
of this
one.
article.
Yeah. So like,
And by
load
that,
of kissing. I don't even have to be kissing. It's even like just the subtlety of the conversation before.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What's the environment like that you've created for each other?
Yep.
Like all that is gonna leave. If the oven's like preheated a good bit before you get in, then it's way easier.
I can throw the chicken straight in.
Yeah.
no. And it takes a lot longer for a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
So the more you can touch, stroke, kiss her, and even tease her, the better it is. Like the idea is that the girl should be wet before you even touch her.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like, if you've done that bit, then half of your job is done, honestly.
For sure.
So
I think that it just, again, that only comes with experience, and like the older you get, the more you hear and stuff like that. And it's all about like the build up, especially if you're on a date with someone. Have you been building any sexual chemistry before you get back to your flat? Because people are, oh, I don't know what happened. It's like, well, did you do anything at the bar or out? Did you touch her? Did you try and build any kind of like physical, intimacy? Did you flirt? Don't just expect to like only doing it when you get back and start necking on. Did you have the balls to do it there? Did you? So I think, massively. It's
and also just take your time. Like there's a lot to be said for even slow kissing. Because I know when you finally kiss someone and you're so excited, it's often like, bang, you're on. But like take it as slowly as you can. Like take it slower than the woman wants to go.
That's hard to do.
Sometimes.
It is hard to do.
It's hard
But think
to
of
do.
it like you're teasing her.
I know.
And the more you tease her, the more she'll want you.
Yeah,
Your job is half done.
I went to there you go. I went on a date once, and I remember a few months after this happened, where I was chatting with the girl, and she was kind of saying like how during the date in the bar, like so much sexual tension like was just rising just by our conversation, just by us like subtly touching each other, like touching each other's leg, touching my arm. What the hell's going on here? Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Touching each other's arms and stuff like that, and then obviously after the date, we came back and did the thing. And that like after that conversation, because I wasn't even doing that on purpose. Like I wasn't like purposely like touching and being subtle and trying to like build up the tension. But whenever she said that, I was like, that's a fucking good point. It goes to show like the conversations that you're having, making them feel comfortable. Everyone's having a good time. The subtle touches, like that has such a massive effect on the build up right before you actually get into the bedroom.
I think it's a natural thing if you're in tune to like the situation. I think that's just like a natural thing. It's not like it doesn't have to be. You're probably not like thinking about it, but just naturally you feel it, and so you want to do those things, and you like you just pick up on people.
On that point though, and I didn't actually realize this until you were saying that. Like sometimes I'll be out on a date with a guy or having drinks or whatever, and I am like super excited by it and do want to have sex with him. But, when you come home, it's suddenly this like, okay, we're going to have sex straight away. And I'm kind of disappointed about the sex being so quick. Like I almost want to stay talking to them and like flirting a little bit. And it's that jumping into bed so quickly that's a bit like,
I agree with that.
Like I was enjoying the build up.
Because I would be like that if I go on a date and we're chatting and we come back. I would enjoy talking more.
Me too.
Before I end up sleeping with them. Yeah. Oh, someone said this to me.
Outrageous.
Oh, continue talking. I'm thinking. No, because I was saying to someone the other day that a lot of my sexual attraction to women when I want to sleep with them has to do with am I like emotionally and intellectually like stimulated and connected with them, and it makes a massive difference to my sexual attraction to them in the bedroom. But it's called something. It's called demi something.
Mate, I got no idea what you were talking
demisexual.
about.
Is it demisexual?
I'm not sure.
I'll find it.
Sapiosexual is like where you get turned on by brains.
Same. I'm like the same. Like I think where I like really am into it is they come back to mine, and that's usually me sorted.
Yeah, we're different beasts.
Yeah. That's basically as far as I'll go.
It actually probably pays to understand what your erotic blueprint is, which is like so far off topic, but we can circle back to it later.
I think it's different though. I think if I'm on a one night stand, like I don't really care as much. If I'm going to continuously sleep with someone, that's where those things will come for me into play more.
Even when I'm having a one night stand now, it's like a non-negotiable that there's that build up. So
Yeah.
but I get you. I feel you.
I think I'm just not as bothered. But then again, it comes down to like the physiology, the difference between men and women. I think that men can have a lot more like transactional sex, where it's like I just want to just have like a release of tension. I'm not really bothered if it's like, you know, I'm here to fucking do what I need to do.
Yeah.
You're right.
But that's why I think if ever I'm like in a casual relationship, for me to see someone more than once, there has to be something.
That's what.
Because otherwise I'm like, I'll shag anyone.
We've got that. We've recorded that.
What time is that? 27 minutes in. That is definite.
Oh, fuck, you know. I really hope she doesn't listen to this.
That is funny.
She will.
So, what I'm saying...
You said it, you're like, shit, wait.
To a limit, right? Don't know where that limit ends.
It's a very...
I'll shag anyone on a first date, but it's like if I'm gonna see them again, there needs to be something there. I need to like find them funny, interesting. Otherwise, I'm just like, there's no point.
That's like me.
Past that, I'm like, it's just a shag.
Yeah.
You know.
Because then also, if I'm not getting that extra bit besides the physical, I will literally have sex with them. And then when I come, I will like feel like shit because I was like, I just want them to leave because I just don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Post that clarity.
I hate that feeling after sex because I feel bad.
Guilty.
Yeah, because I don't want anyone to feel as if after they've like done that they're going to be discarded of.
Well, because isn't it different? Like, so we can have post nut clarity where we go get the fuck out.
I have post nut clarity.
Do women get post nut clarity?
As long as they come, yeah.
Well, no, I didn't. I've only spoke to other men about this.
Yeah.
Like. Because usually after I'd be like, you know, I'd want them to leave. But on the other hand, haven't you spoke about before being dickmatized? So you get like a boost in whatever hormone. So at that point, wouldn't men, if we had PNC, get the fuck out? And women at that point would be like, oh, I just really want to cuddle and spoon. Like, is there like a difference of how we feel post depending on the quality of sex?
I think so.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
But if the quality of sex, the girl's good, would you not want her to stay?
If the sex
you can have great sex with someone you don't like.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like an ex or something.
Yeah.
Hate her, but I'll do it again.
It's just fucking.
Just do it again.
It needs to be done.
Yeah.
It needs to be done.
Yeah. Let's go on to women. Let's
go on to women. Mm-hmm.
So,
let's clip it.
Can we just clarify first? Anyone who's listening to this and your first thought is, I'm an expert, you're
Shut your
not,
mouth.
and you're probably fucking shit. I think so many women think they're amazing at sucking dick and have sucked like 2 dicks in their life.
He's very passionate
and
about this.
So many people have sucked loads of dick, but they've sucked loads of different dick, and it's just like you're not getting any feedback. And thirdly, a big part of sucking dick is sucking dick. So there's going to be some...
Yeah.
In my mind, in my mind, there's going to be some suction. There's so many people, they just put it in their mouth, and it's just like, it's just sitting there marinated.
Tunnel.
Like, what's going on? Like, this isn't chicken. You're not seasoning it, leaving it to marinate overnight. Like, do something with it. So those would be my 3 little kickoff points.
No teeth.
Yeah, no teeth. Oh, please, no teeth.
Absolutely no teeth. We'll get into that. I want to say though something about giving head to men. There's this really interesting power dynamic giving head to men and giving head to women. It's like a psychological kind of turn on or turn off, however you look at it. But I think women, especially in, you know, when I was growing up, you kind of, and like with rap lyrics and whatnot going around, you kind of grow up thinking that, exactly.
Bitches, get money.
You kind of grow up thinking that giving a guy a blowjob is demoralizing or you're less than. But I actually think that giving someone head and doing it well is such a position of power.
If you're good at sucking dick,
they'll fall in love with you.
Also, you've got their most prized possession in your mouth.
Yeah.
He will do anything. Oh, God. It's a powerful... When you know what you're doing, man...
I still think about some girls to this damn, like, if
you
only...
will be remembered.
Forever.
And to that end...
Literally.
And to that end, like, I just want to say to women, keep that in your
Can you get me another?
minds, because it is a position of power, and for that reason, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see it as just something
Enjoy it.
obligatory, as I know some men do, but actually take pride in it. Take pride in your work. It's your dick for the moment, so
It's
so
your
own it.
dick for the moment.
I am.
Fucking love it.
I never ask for head either, because I'm just like, if they're not offering, then they obviously don't want to do it.
I've had it once where I was backpacking and I went back with someone and I went down on them, and then I was like, oh, do you want to go? Like, you know, went to go, oh, you know, it's my turn. Let's, you know, a bit of like sharing. And she was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. And I like immediately, I think it was the first time I'd come across that. I was like, I just felt so uncomfortable. It's
What'd
suddenly
you do?
it's suddenly it's like the tension
Yeah, it's
changed
just
in the
like
room
weird.
and it became more awkward. And it was a whole massive story. I'll tell you afterwards. But it's a bit, it's a bit,
Tell us at brunch.
you know, too fucking explicit. But just went a bit weird and I just didn't want to be there. And I ended up just like basically finishing super quickly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out.
I've been with
I still
girls
had
who don't-
I still had sex with her.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to leave.
I've been with girls who didn't want to give head either.
I think it was just at the time, like, I've been with other girls since who haven't, but it was more because it was like, I was backpacking the time I was 21, and I was like, oh, hey, and she's like, no, I just don't want to do that. And then it was just the way she said it was like, just cut the tension
That's
a bit
fa-
awkwardly.
I kind of understand that to a level as well, because she's just like, the idea of her just putting a random guy's dick in her mouth that she met in like a party.
That's fair, but I think if she would have like then taken charge and done something else instead of just being like, no, I don't want to do that, and it just sat there with it, I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. You know, if she would have grabbed me and done something else, I'd have been like, cool, but it's just cut the tension in a really awkward way, and I was like, all right, well, now I feel a bit weird about, you know, I mean, we still did it, but...
All right, Jess, give us some advice for...
Giving good head.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I want to say, just like women are central, men are pretty central too. And you can't, as you know, you can't do anything with a limp dick.
No.
So plenty of tension,
Yep.
plenty of kissing, plenty of stroking before you even unwrap your package.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What else am I going to say about this? Balls. We need to talk about balls.
Yeah.
Oh, so...
Everybody's different.
I'm a
They're
fan,
very sensitive.
but my balls don't hang very low sometimes if it's cold.
Yeah.
So normally, if it's cold, it's up. Everything else is fine. Everything else is
Look, I'm going to say,
hanging low, but
don't neglect them, but do go easy.
I went through a period
Balls are definitely
of
important.
not liking anyone to touch them because it made me feel very like uncomfortable. Like it could go wrong very quickly, and I'm going to be in a lot of pain. And so
Yeah.
I always I like wince. So I
Yeah.
was like, please, just don't even touch them.
Which goes
But-
back to the power dynamic.
Yeah, but recently I've been a bit more open to it. So maybe I've like eased up and become a bit more comfortable. But also I've had some people that they just suck a bit hard, and it's just like, ow,
Yeah.
ow, oh, this is painful. And I'm like, I'd rather just, I'm just like, oh my god, I'd rather just don't do anything. Just please, just leave them be. But now I actually don't mind it. Like I'm okay with it. You know?
I think another thing that I learned, I mean, I guess I kind of knew this, but I learned this in this experience in Bali, is you don't lick it like a lollipop. Like you're not over the head, just like running your tongue back and forth over the head of the penis, because it's very sensitive apparently.
I've had that before, and just seeing someone do that, I was like, I had the ick. I was like, this is so awkward. Oh, just get off. Just get.
Oh my
And it's
God.
really hard, right? Because you ask loads of blokes, shit head is still better than no head,
Yeah.
right? But I've had like one or
But that's-
two where it's
I
been
think-
so bad, I'm just
Yeah.
like, don't even.
I think that's the issue though, because like men are like almost such simple creatures.
Yeah.
Like we're happy enough. That's
put
why,
it in your mouth.
That's why so many women think they're great at it, because like because we've
I don't
come.
think it's simple at all.
Nah, but
I
like
don't
just
think
because
giving
we've
head is
come
simple.
doesn't mean it was great. It's because
Yeah.
like I've been like, right, I'm going to come.
Focusing
Like, I'm
so
focusing.
hard.
It wasn't because it was unreal. It was because like I was like, I'm just gonna come. So that's
Yeah.
why a
Yeah.
lot of women was like, yeah, I'm fucking sick because every guy I've sucked off is like cum. But I was like, nah.
It is harder to make blokes come from head, I think.
100%.
It is
Yeah.
harder
because
but
there's so much going on.
I think
I
if you're
agree
like
with that.
mediocre, you can concentrate enough to get it
Yeah,
there.
yeah, 100%.
But then again, that doesn't mean you're amazing. It just means you could have just been subpar. You
Yeah.
could have just been average.
I will say though that even though you're not licking it like a lollipop, you can hold it like a lollipop.
Yeah.
So you
Oh, yeah,
can
100%.
grab it around the shaft quite firmly, and
Two hands.
The
that's
Glock
kind of
9000.
sexy.
2 hands. Oh, the Glock. Oh, the Glock.
Bit of Caller Daddy.
The
Caller
Glock
Daddy
Glock.
reference.
The Glock 3000, mate,
Yeah.
is
It's a good one.
And okay, so this is the point.
wife material. That's wife material.
This is the point that Dan and I are going to argue about. In the article, I say ditch the Dyson because sucking dick isn't actually about
It's the
sucking.
Dyson. Just love this.
you're not really just sucking on it. What sucking dick is when you put your I can't do it without doing the action. I can't talk about it without doing the action.
Oh, it is.
It's
I've got a
opening
PS5
your
controller.
It is opening your mouth and putting the penis into your mouth as far as it can go, and then using your tongue to stimulate it at the same time.
There's a happy medium. I think there's a happy medium with that. There needs to be. There needs to be a
is
bit
some-
It
of
needs to feel like it's
suction.
wrapped around something.
Yeah,
Yes,
but,
there
but-
is
but
some
for it to be
suction.
wrapped, there has to be a bit of suction. There has to be. Otherwise, it's not wrapped properly. Like,
But you can use the tongue
But
to
you
like
can, like,
swirl
get
around
sucked in a
it.
little bit.
You can use the tongue to swirl around
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up
yeah.
into the tip.
You can.
I don't really know the
Well,
dynamics
if,
of it.
if you put your finger in your mouth, right, and no, but like now suck the air out your mouth. You see, right, you see the moment your cheeks get sucked in, there has to be a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
There
I
has to be a
agree.
little bit of
but
that.
But not like.
Because that's the pressure. Because that's the pressure.
But I think the phrase "sucking dick" is actually misleading because it's a lot
Okay.
about licking, touching, caressing, sucking a little bit.
That's a great thumbnail for the podcast. Just us, just like that, just like. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, sorry, yeah. So you think it's a bit misleading? I think it is a happy medium, and it's a lot like it's to do with that, and then your tongue movements and what are you doing. But I think there's definitely like a happy medium there
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I know some people just like pretty much just put in just nothing, and it's just no tongue movement.
You just
either.
feel like
and it's
it's
just
going
like that.
in-
I'm like
into
doing
like a
it.
tunnel.
and I'm like, what's going on? It's what is happening here?
going through a tunnel.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just awful.
No, it shouldn't be like that, and I don't have a dick.
Yeah.
But I will say on that note that for men, it's like, please don't push our heads down into your dicks.
Yeah.
Like, please don't. It's
Yeah.
leave that
Oh,
for
that's fair.
ASAP Ferg.
So I've had that, and I've had someone throw up on me a couple of times.
Yeah, you
and
probably deserved
like
it.
yeah. Like I did that when I was younger, and like I don't do that, and I'm very cautious.
Yeah.
Because I realise that they'll go as low as they can.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fucking you're not face fucking.
We're doing
someone.
our best, and also, it's like we can only breathe through our noses.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever pushed a girl's head down on it.
I've had
No.
it done to me, and it's pretty horrible.
Nah, yeah.
I can imagine because you're like.
especially
It
if they
just
can't.
changes the dynamic like that.
Yeah, it just feels
Why
like
do you- it just
just
becomes a bit more like.
feels like you're almost taking
forced.
advantage.
You've
Yeah,
also
Yeah.
been like.
yeah.
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 Because they're
Yeah,
in
that's fair.
already in
Like-
a vulnerable position,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of like
Choking them,
you're like
sort of.
literally taking charge
It,
and like
like-
being like,
See, on the other
let
hand,
me do this for
I'd
you.
be completely different. I'm like, feel free to cut off all my oxygen. Just stuff my face until I cannot
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
I'm if
Dad
I,
just passed out in the pussy.
if I died like that,
Passed out on the pussy.
Passed out in the
Ah,
pussy.
if I died like it's like that video you seen Jordan Belfort's done where it's like when you say sit on your face, do you actually want us to sit
on your face,
And Jordan
yeah.
Belfort's like, I want you to build like a seal around my mouth where I cannot breathe. The only way I'm getting air is in and out through you. If I die like that, I die a happy man.
Fine, yeah.
And I'm like 100%. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that. And then one of the other pertinent
That we said
points.
to make sure it's wet.
This is what I was going on
okay,
to.
go on.
So yeah, at the very crux of it, I find that men, when you're giving them head, turn into fucking animals. It doesn't matter who the
Grr.
guy is. It could be David from finance, but as soon as you're giving them head, they just turn into a whole different beast. So as much as you can, like
Especially if they're good, you turn into a whole new beast. You're having the greatest time of your life.
guys like it wet too. Like get the saliva in there. If you can't do that, water, ice cubes. As we
Anything.
discussed
I
last
think
time.
I say
much-
coconut oil.
I
Like
think
if you
much-
get it a bit lubed
Much
up.
like women, they obviously want their vaginas wet before
Yeah.
you decide to enter in. Same way with men. Don't start like giving us hand jobs before you've wet it either. If it's completely dry, you're gonna start ripping skin.
Well,
That's a good point.
I would say to add to that, right? So I'm circumcised. So on a bloke who's got like the extra skin, I'm assuming when they're moving up and down, they're moving like that extra bit of
skin,
skin.
yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is pulling the skin that I have, and it's like, whoa, my dick does not
Not
work.
do-
So,
yeah, it doesn't
so
work
there's
that
not
way.
Really hard
lubricant.
to
You're just
know.
pulling
My
skin.
bank account isn't set up that way.
Yeah, so I'm like, there has to be like more than ever lubrication,
Yeah.
and your hand just don't try and pull fucking skin up because I haven't got a hood.
It's
Like-
really bad because when I talk about circumcision, especially with my girlfriends, I'm like, I don't even know if the guys that have slept with the circumcised or not circumcised.
How do you mean?
How do you mean?
I
What do you
don't
mean?
know.
What do you mean?
It's either there's foreskin or there's no
Is it like a
foreskin.
I
blind
know,
restaurant?
but
Are you
it's-
going in with a fucking blindfold on?
And-
You got no idea what's
Well, they
going
say
on.
to me, "Oh, that must mean they're circumcised then if you've not like."
You
I
would-
just can't.
do you know, but you know when you look
recall.
at it,
I know what it looks like, but I just
That is fucking. You'd see
Nah,
like the
you'd
bulge of
know.
skin. You'd see the ring. You know when they put it down.
Yeah.
You'd see the ring of skin.
Yeah.
You'd know.
You would.
Yeah, but that's another tricky thing for consideration, I guess.
But yeah, definitely the lubrication thing is very,
100%,
very, very
please.
important.
Heavily make it.
Because it can be quite
As
sore.
wet as fuck.
As wet
Yeah.
as fuck.
But yeah, I do think I also think for women as well, going down in them, like, because obviously the vagina is warm. So like that
It
little
is.
difference in temperature, if you drink like cold water right
Yes.
before you go down,
Yes.
or like you said, put ice in your
Does
mouth.
that work for going down a bit? Like, how would you do
Yeah.
that with an ice cube?
Just put the ice cube in your mouth and then just literally just go down on it with the ice cube in your mouth, and they'll just like shiver because
Yeah.
it's just making out.
It's making it.
But like I always, because the first time that ever happened to me from a girl, I was like, that is unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, when
and
I
then
had
I
it,
just,
it was amazing.
And I was just like, let me try that the next time
Yeah.
I'm with this girl or with another girl. And then I did, and then like their whole body just like moves straight away
Yeah.
because it's just, especially if it's unexpected, and even if they do expect it, it still feels great because you're just like, that feels great.
That is fair.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say about, because we're talking about tongues and wetness, that I learnt through this experience is, and obviously you know because you have a tongue, if you stick out your tongue, the top is rough and the bottom is smooth. So you can use the different sides of your tongue to create a different sense of pleasure based on how you, like which side of the tongue you're using for it. Works for both ways, penises and vaginas.
I think someone once said that they were with someone and it was like they were like a cat's litter bowl or like a cat's like dinner. You know when cats are just like,
Oh,
oh no, yeah, that's just gross. I was just like,
I've also been with a guy that I can't do this without showing my crotch, but like a guy that was just like licking here.
what do you mean?
Like just,
Like
he
he
obviously
just
must
nipped?
have been lost.
No,
Like
maybe
just
maybe
licking
maybe
the
he was
crease.
just maybe he was like doing that because he
Like
wanted like
foreplay?
tease you into it.
Yeah, I thought that, but
Because
no,
I would like bite down
Yeah,
the inner
yeah.
thigh.
I
like,
get
go
that.
down the
And
thigh.
this guy did a lot of that, but no.
Unless he didn't actually get there in the end, just like we're done.
But sometimes you kind of worry if you feel like it's not going to be like the most sophisticated experience, and a guy is licking the inside of your thigh.
That is
You're like, are
fucking
you lost?
unbelievable.
Are you lost or are you?
Just licking it like a cat box.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That is no. Odd. What
Yeah.
did you with this happened to you?
Yeah, it's happened to me a few times.
And
Guys
what
get
did
lost.
you say?
What
Nothing.
do you do?
I just
You just like just
How
went-
long do you wait? Usually like, all right, it's time to have sex now.
well, because sometimes they've just legitimately lost their way and they work it out.
lost their way? What do you mean? They're literally in between your legs. There's nowhere to go besides either in or up.
But yeah, if they really can't do it, I'm
That's
like,
so
it's time
funny.
to have sex now, and you just cop it.
Yeah, that moment when they're like, oh, all right, come on, let's just have sex now. You're like, oh, fuck, I've not done my job properly.
Yeah, I've also also got to say on the fingering note, don't use more than 2 fingers.
Are people still trying to chuck in like
Yeah.
a 4?
Oh, well, not for a while.
I did
but
that when I
like-
was younger, for sure.
Oh yeah, when I was younger,
Now I'm
you're trying
like-
to chuck in more than 2, but like now I'm like, really?
You got to get in a good position when you're down there as well, because you got to get
But
because
all-
your arm will ache after a while, so you need to have a comfortable position where like you're
I'm
not gonna
ambidextrous, so I
run out.
switch arms.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not. Nah.
But also, whenever you put one finger in, you kind of get an idea of how much space there is.
Yeah.
So like, if you're like, okay, one's quite tight, why are you gonna try and put 4 in?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna try and put 3 in when one actually was like
Never use more than 2.
pretty like tight in, weird, odd, inappropriate? Stop it. You're weird.
Also, in general, I'm a huge advocate for fingering, and I think it needs to be brought back in every aspect of our lives.
Bring that finger in on the dance floor.
Yeah, 100%.
That was like a
Finger
page
back
on
in
Facebook.
bathrooms, in
Finger on the
cars,
dance floor.
everywhere.
Bring back fingering on the dance floor, yeah. Because
I
that used
think
to be a
it's-
thing back in,
Oh,
in junior
yeah.
high and high school.
It
Right.
reminds me of being a teenager, and it's just something so kind of
I knew someone that got fingers.
Nostalgic.
illicit. Yeah, illicit, naughty, nostalgic. But I think in giving women head, you want to go full in
A
with
cheeky
the
thing.
tongue.
Oh yeah. And then
Go for the tongue first, because then she's actually begging for you to penetrate her with something. But
Yeah.
if you're doing your job right, she won't give a fuck what it is.
What about
But
the old,
then at the fingers?
the old
One in the doing the pink, one in the stink.
pink and stink. Pink and stink. What are we saying about pink and
Much
stink?
later on.
Ironically,
much.
Do you think men can Do you think men can multitask that much?
That's a bit much for men.
You right?
just for men.
Just to manage that everything that's
Yeah.
going on.
That's a lot going on.
I think if you're going to stick a finger in the asshole, then you need to be licking it first.
Oh yeah.
I think.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a
I've
fair
never
rule
licked-
for.
no, I've never done that.
Well, then,
You've never.
if you're not going to
Licked an
lick it,
arsehole, no.
You've never eaten arse.
No.
Mate, it is unbelievable.
Oh
if
my
you
God.
don't, if you're not going
Oh.
to lick it, you can't put a finger in it. That's a
That's
good
fair.
rule. Yeah,
Mate.
That's fair.
it's a really
think
good
of your
rule.
favourite meal, just a little bit better. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good.
Chinese food.
It's
I
good.
can't. I mean,
It's good.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of it, but mostly because it just makes me laugh. Like it
tickles.
It tickles, and you just like, and then you can't take anything seriously because you're just like, oh my
Jess
god,
just
my
closes her bum cheeks on the guy's
It
tongue and nose,
does.
like
And
just stuck in there.
I can't do it. I can't.
That's hilarious.
It's good. I'd recommend it. Like I'd heavily recommend it.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, I'd try it for sure.
Yeah, eat
but-
arse for 2023. 100%.
But it just makes me laugh, and it's because
Yeah, that's
guys
fair.
have whiskers too. Like
Whiskers?
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
cat.
I wouldn't have someone doing it to me. I wouldn't have someone eating my
I
arse.
would not.
Because I
I had my. Yeah.
I've had my arse fingered before.
No, I haven't had my ass fingered. no.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan. It's a bit how you going. I'm just like.
It's probably your
"Ooh."
most
There's
explicit
actually
episode ever.
that's actually a trick for if a guy can't get it up. Stick
Put
a
it in the
finger
bum.
up
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
but the only thing, but to go that far, I'd be scared of what they're gonna pull
come
out.
out,
Yeah,
yeah. His
I'm
ass
just
of
probably in
course,
that
of
clean.
course. I mean, like,
Just make sure you shit before you go out.
No.
yeah, this is what I mean. This is really
Colonoscopy.
why bums are not for me. Like, it's just
Yeah,
not.
I think women's are nicer than men's though. You know, it's like, oh, yours are cleaner, mine's.
It's
you know,
the hairs,
I'm
though.
I'm
Yeah, it's the
hairy,
hairs.
so it's like, oh, I just
So much
no.
bacteria gets caught in the
Oh,
hair.
everything. I just.
Oh, it makes me
oh.
feel so uncomfortable thinking
Ugh.
about it.
I know. I
Nah.
just don't want anything to do with it. Really.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair. Yeah, I just don't think
But-
it's for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
But fingering, we'll keep.
Like I said, if you're not going to lick it, you can't put a finger in it.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
fair.
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
What
no.
if you'd lube it up and then put the finger in?
Still the same rule.
Oh, okay. Just inquiring. Just wanted to just throw out some options there. See who we're working with.
What else have we got?
Bon appetit. What's that? Oh,
Eat
yeah.
up.
Approach
Oral
oral
sex.
sex with a sense of enthusiasm. If you don't enjoy it, or offering it only as perfunction. Oh, that's the word you were
Perfunctionary
reading.
step before.
Yeah.
Perfunctionary.
Yeah.
Perfunctionary.
Don't play with your food because your enjoyment is a turn on in itself.
Don't play with your what?
Don't play with your food. Eat it.
Yeah, I think I've not got an issue with enjoying it. No, it's a pastime.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
It's a good pastime. Big
It's
fan.
growing in me.
Oh, massively. Oh,
I think for me, again, if you go down and the area isn't as clean,
oh
or
no.
It's really stressful as a woman. You like.
Guys usually
in terms of
just
like smell and taste,
guys usually, if they're smart, so what guys will do during sex is that they'll
Finger them
like
first,
finger you and
smell.
then smell it without you realizing.
Yeah.
And then they'll
Really?
Go,
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Yeah,
yes.
We'll do
100%.
a cheeky one and then
You
we'll
like
just
go down and then
manage
you just
to-
be like, yeah, we're good.
I'm mortified.
Do you not know that? I feel like I thought that
No.
was like common knowledge.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
Because you get
Get a little
do-
paranoid.
Yeah, especially if you've been out all night or whatever, and like.
Oh, I
But
think
would you?
that's
But you as
sweat's
a girl,
different.
would you not like check? Yeah, sweat's fine.
Sweat's
Sweat's fine.
I
It's
use
more
wet
just-
wet wipes.
before.
Yeah.
Oh,
wet
okay.
wipes. That's fine.
Which like it's not the best, but if I go home and I know I'm gonna have sex, I just get in the shower.
Yeah, fair. I
But
think
otherwise, I'm too like that's part of it. If you're too worried about what you smell like or taste
It's
like,
gonna like ruin the rest
yeah,
of it. Yeah.
100%.
I think if you're a clean person and you go on a night out and you get a bit
I think
straight,
it's
that's
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more like.
But yeah, guys would throw the finger in quick,
Yeah, we
quick
check.
sniff, and then
Still go down there anyway.
And then,
I mean, and then
And
not
then you-
go.
you make
would
a
you
decision.
Yeah.
would you say to someone
No.
get in the shower?
No.
Oh, my mate's done that before. He's like, you've got to get in the shower.
Because let me tell you, there are some smelly dicks out there too.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
For sure. Again, circumcised, no knob cheese. I can't get it. So
Oh.
yeah.
I
My
clean my
mate-
penis thoroughly before I leave the house.
my mate thought he had an STD once, and apparently it was just knob cheese.
That's disgusting.
Oh my god.
That's probably he
Sad.
probably didn't clean his cock for like at least 4 days,
That's
Oh.
fucking. That's
Yeah.
feral.
and he's probably either wanked or had sex and then not cleaned his cock, so
Oh.
there's just cum just chill. Oh,
Mate, This is why some women, they prefer circumcised, because they just know it's naturally just, you can't get the
But you
bacteria.
can lose so much sensitivity though.
But people
you know?
say that, but it's like, it's all I know, and I've come before in like a fucking minute. I've got no issue with
Yeah,
busting.
but like apparently like that's a possibility that when you do get you can lose a lot
it's
of
more sensitive.
it's possible that you lose sensitivity in your penis. Because obviously the head's like where a lot of the sensitive like nerves are,
Yeah.
and your foreskin covers that. So a lot of times when people get circumcised, because it's exposed so much, and it's obviously slapping off your shorts and slapping off your
Yeah.
boxers, it can actually damage the nerve endings, and then you actually lose sensitivity in around your head.
Meaning what though?
Meaning that you probably don't feel as much as a guy who's not circumcised.
Oh, but I'm saying when
But
people...
you're lucky because you still do, but like it's possible.
But when people say that to me, I'm like, anyone that's had it as a kid, they don't know any different. That's all they know for their life. Like,
Yeah.
I reckon if I was a guy, I'd get circumcised.
Mate, we'll
like
do,
that's the way
mate,
I
should
would
we do
wanna
like a pod circumcision? I've got a meat cleaver. We'll just get up on the edge and just... It'll be fine, mate.
I'm not cutting my penis today.
Mate, mate,
not
imagine,
today.
mate, imagine the
Wait,
views
see
we
what
get.
happens later.
Yeah, I'll chat later. See how I
Mate.
feel after the bottomless brunch.
Imagine the views we get in the thumbnail. Just you there and me, just with the meat
Just
cleaver.
my cock out on YouTube,
I
just
can
chilling.
supervise.
Jess is like this, writing content. This is great, guys. It's another article today.
Fabulous.
Oh, right. I think we are.
Oh.
I think that was. I think we're done.
Yeah, this has probably been one of my favourite episodes to date.
Most explicit for
and
sure.
most explicit.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
a
we
lot more
gave-
explicit than I usually am too. So.
Glad we gave the warning before we went into it, so people can check out if needs be.
100%.
I'll probably tell my mum not to listen to this
Yeah,
one.
please
to be
do.
fair.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mum.
It's just a
Oh,
bit weird.
Please, Mum, don't listen.
But anyway,
But we're all sexually safe and responsible and emotionally mature, so
yeah,
oh, yeah.
I am. Right. Well,
Mate,
thank you very much,
I'm
everyone.
all into safe sex. I always keep a bat under the bed just in case there's intruders. Always.
so glad.
Always.
Always in the safe sex. I always wear a mask.
Mate, always.
COVID-19.
Well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for coming
Jess,
on. We're
yes,
heading to
for
a
sure.
bottomless brunch now to get fucking battered.
Yep.
As usual.
And,
Watch the stories for the update.
Is there anything you'd like to leave the listeners with? Any
We'll
any word of go on.
We'll throw the links to Jess's articles into the description for this episode.
Yeah.
So you can click and read, and we'll also share it in our stories for you to have a little read.
And by all means, if you read the articles and you disagree or you strongly agree, then slide into my DMs at the Boy Detox and let me know, because
Follow the Boy Detox.
I'm super interested to hear your
She goes deep
perspectives.
every day.
I go deep every day.
Not
It's
every.
always-
Is it daily or weekly? Weekly. Yeah. She goes
It's
deep
always
weekly.
Good content. It's
Yeah.
always good
Great
fucking
content. But thank you very much, everyone. It's good to be back. It's been a while. We're sorry for the delay on this new episode, and we're almost at 20,000 fucking listeners.
That's fucking cool.
That's insane. Hopefully by February we'll have hit 20,000 listeners. So yes, thank you everyone.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe.
And keep
you.
sucking dick.
Bye.
Yeah, keep it real.